This area has innumerable vehicles of that make news of various kinds, and they're all understaffed and don't get down to the important issues, including us. Hi folks, this is Geddy Sveikauskas with a weekly podcast from Hudson Valley 1, and with me right now is Zach, who's been doing a lot of the technical and other kind of work around here, and he's really a dynamite person with very outspoken views, and I appreciate having him around.
And you are a dynamic person with astute journalistic credibility and restraint that I am learning from every day.
Well, when is restraint? The idea, I think, of journalism is to serve a whole community, and you can't just shut off half the people and say they're not part of the community. You have to not only listen and realize that other people exist, but talk to them. See if there's something you can work on together in a community, or some value that you both believe in that you can pursue.
Right.
And I think there's too little of that, and hopefully we were entering an era when there will be more.
I hope so. I mean, I don't think so much it's the polarization, which is something that's happening. It's the cognitive dissonance that our media environment, to an extent, has created, where people are now in these self-serve bubbles of information that is tailored exactly to their viewpoints and their behaviors, and because of that, they lack touch with reality in the outside world and the other side.
Well, it becomes a form of reality, regrettably.
Right.
That's if you live a certain way, you think other people live that way too, and that's the best way to live, and that's a big mistake. We can live a lot better than we're living right now.
Well, hopefully the podcast, in 2022 can be that platform where you can actually see the person's facial expressions, right, which is very rare in our mask-mandated, strictest in the nation mandated state here. Mm-hmm. To see someone's face, to see two people who maybe disagree, discussing something back and forth, that's what people need to see right now. And you do get that. It's just rare. It's not on mainstream media. It's not in mainstream publications.
Right. I think that one of the things about a podcast is good is that it's all about participation, and people watching it kind of have more of a sense of participation than reading a newspaper or going on Facebook.
Right, and it's passive too. You can put it on while you're driving in the car. Kind of hard to read the newspaper while you're otherwise occupied. So.
Right.
Yeah. So who are we going to have on next year?
Oh, all kinds of people. I made a list of about 15 people. I don't want to give the names because I have them scheduled, but sometimes they may not show up or whatever, and I want to make sure I get everybody. They represent, I think, my sense of what people are interested in, but of course my particular viewpoint, my particular expertise is probably prejudiced, so I want kind of more balance. I saw a list, I started a list, and the first 6 people on it were guys. I just noticed that after 6. So I said, who are the women who would be good for this? And I got a bunch of those people, and I said, well, I want somebody more outspoken than that, or somebody, and you just try for balance. I hope the best thing would be to have a podcast each week, and at the end of the year you said, we got pretty much, got pretty much the representatives of people of the whole community.
I love that about you. You really are thinking about the entire community.
I would like that, yeah. And you see people in everyday life, people in service jobs, like I go to the diner, I know everybody. I go on the street, I run into people whose name I forgot, but seem to know me very well. And I just love that sense of finding out about what's going on with people and seeing what we have in common, and particularly so we can have a a better life. If Obama said that what's America is a work in progress, it sure is, and it needs a lot more progress than it's having.
Yeah, he said that and then pressed the drone strike button. All right, so I know we wanted to keep this short, but just to give the people something, let's do a quick lightning round, all right? I'm going to name a topic, and you tell me where you see this going in 2022, okay?
Okay.
COVID-19, what happens in 2022?
Oh, God. I think we're going to have a very high peak on this, but very soon. And I'm saying to people that if you can wait in a couple of months, if you cannot get COVID for the next 2 months, there will be a regimen of pills available that decrease the strength of the virus about 85%. As a Pfizer thing, and I think that's something that is worth sticking around for, because the Omicron is clearly less damaging than in the long-term hospitalization and deaths than the Delta was. But if you can reduce even that small thing by 85-90%, a lot more people will live.
Right. And early indications seem to suggest these might not be as safe as they first claimed. There's some concerning studies coming out of those pills that might quash a little bit of the enthusiasm, but one would hope that early treatment and treatments will be available, given that vaccines were developed at warp speed. Why haven't
I think it's really a matter of supply. They're talking about it, but even the fastest moving drug company is going to produce a billion of these things,
right?
Which is what we need.
Tech City, is it going to get its first few customers?
Yeah, I like Tech City. I like what the people, National Resources, are doing. And it's somehow, people don't realize how hard it is to attract jobs, to make jobs. So that says two things. One is that people should make their own jobs and try to do their own economy, more of a self-sustaining thing. And secondly, that you want people who are trying to attract jobs from somewhere else to know what they're doing and to be willing to take risks. Mm-hmm. And I think that these people are.
Okay. How about, let's go to, what's a good topic? The bike lanes, will they open in Kingston?
I don't understand what's going on.
Do you buy the supply chain crisis?
I think it's, with 3 deaths within a year, you clearly need education more than you need bike lanes. Mm-hmm. And I think that if people follow, we have strict rules for everything in society, you should have it for bike lanes. If you see a bicycle, any bicycle, you have to realize that that's somebody who's moving, who doesn't have the safety of a vehicle around him,
right,
other than a pair of circular wheels. And you just have to live differently. And until people understand that, I don't think bike lanes make sense.
Respect the bikers, people. But bikers, respect that you're a biker. All right, what about the good cause eviction law? A bunch of people getting kicked out in January because of the eviction moratorium expiring. Are we gonna get that going? Are we gonna take out the exemption?
I hope not. Government has been throwing money at all kinds of things at the present time, just to keep everybody going. And I think inevitably in such a process, it's the poor, underprivileged, and dispossessed who get the bad end of the stick. And I think this is what's happening now. And it's you talk about programs for people who are underprivileged, but they essentially, the privileged always have a way of figuring out how to get most of it for themselves, and the underprivileged don't get any except the lip service. And it's the lipstick on a pig syndrome.
And what do you feel about the leaders of Pat Ryan, Steve Noble? Are they rising stars, falling stars?
Well, I like Pat Ryan. I think he's smart. And I like talking to him. Steve Noble, I don't understand. I listen to him and I just simply were not on the same wavelength. And it's funny that two people of the, similar generation, I guess, are so. I feel I experience them so differently. I don't know. Maybe it's me.
And finally, the news landscape in our area next year. We have a lot of sources of news these days. How do you think that's all going to shake out?
I think it has to shake out. I don't know who's going to be shook and where it goes, but this area has innumerable vehicles of that make news of various kinds, and they're all understaffed and don't get down to the important issues, including us.
Right.
I do the best I can, but it's not good enough.
Well, there's a reason why it's called Hudson Valley 1.
There is indeed.
End up number 1.
So, Hudson Valley 1, all of us. Thank you very much.
See you next year.